All right, today we're diving into a book that so many of us know and love, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. Now, on the surface, it feels like this really simple, beautiful story, but trust me, underneath it all, it's basically a roadmap for finding out what you're really meant to do in this life. Okay, this quote right here, this is everything. It is the heartbeat of the entire book. It's so much more than just a pretty sentence. Think of it as a promise, a core belief that's going to guide us through this whole story. The idea is that the things you want most, your deepest desires, they're not just random. They're actually part of the universe's plan for you.
So, before we even get to the main character, let me ask you something. You know those daydreams you have? The ones that keep popping up? Or that quiet little ambition you keep tucked away? What if, what if those aren't just random thoughts? What if they're actually a map pointing you to where you're supposed to go? That's the mindset we need to have as we dive into Santiago's story.
All right, let's get into it. Our story kicks off in a pretty humble place. We're not in some fancy castle or a bustling city. Nope, we're in the quiet fields of Andalusia in Spain. And this is where we meet our main guy, a young shepherd who has no idea his life is about to get completely turned upside down by a dream he just can't shake. So, the first thing you gotta know about Santiago is that he's not a shepherd because he has to be. He actually chose this life. Why? Because he wanted freedom. He wanted to see the world. So he's already a seeker at heart, you know? That's why when this recurring dream about treasure buried at the Egyptian pyramids keeps showing up, it's not just some random fantasy. It's a call to action. It's an adventure that's speaking directly to who he is. So this dream is really bugging him, right? He needs answers. And pretty soon, he runs into this mysterious old king. And this king introduces him to what is, without a doubt, the most important idea in the entire book. The king gives it a name, a personal legend. And look, this isn't just a goal or an ambition. We're talking about your destiny, your true purpose, the one thing you were put here to do. And the book makes it clear, fulfilling this, it's not just for you. It's like a responsibility you have to the universe. And this is where it all gets real. The dream stops being just a dream and turns into an actual plan. The king gives Santiago these 3 very clear steps. Number 1, you gotta believe the dream is real, that it's a message. Number 2, you have to make a real sacrifice. For Santiago, that means selling all of his sheep. And third, he gives him these 2 stones, Urim and Thummim, to help him read the signs, the omens along the way. Okay, so here's the thing. The moment you decide to go for it, to follow your personal legend, the universe doesn't just roll out the red carpet. Oh no. The very second Santiago takes that leap of faith, he gets hit with a test, and it is brutal. Just try to imagine this. He gets to Tangier, a totally new country, doesn't even speak the language, and bam, in a flash, every single penny he has is gone, robbed. This is that moment, right? The point where 99% of people would just pack it in and go home. The dream just feels completely and utterly impossible. And this right here, this is a choice that every single one of us faces. You've got Santiago who decides, okay, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna earn my way back. And then you have his new boss, the crystal merchant. Turns out he has a dream too. He's always wanted to go to Mecca, but he's just comfortable. He's too afraid of what might change if he actually went. And this is where Santiago learns a massive lesson. There's a huge difference between having a dream and having the guts to actually live it. So a whole year goes by, a full year. And Santiago has worked so hard, he's actually earned enough money to go back home, buy double the sheep he had, and be a rich man. Or he can keep going, and he chooses the quest. He joins a caravan that's about to cross the Sahara Desert. Out there in the total silence of the desert, Santiago starts to learn in a completely new way. See, he's traveling with this Englishman who's buried in his books, trying to find all the answers in writing. But Santiago, he just watches. He observes, and he starts to connect with this idea of the soul of the world, this feeling that everything is connected. Him, the sand, the wind, the stars, all of it. Then, at this beautiful oasis, another test comes along, but this time it looks a lot like love. He meets a woman named Fatima, and for a second he thinks, this is it, I'll just stay here with her. He's ready to give up the whole quest, but Fatima teaches him something incredible. One of the best lessons in the book. Real love doesn't get in the way of your destiny, it helps you achieve it. And this is where he finally meets the man himself, the alchemist. And the alchemist isn't about giving him cheat codes or easy answers. No, his whole thing is teaching Santiago to listen to his own heart. He tells him that the fear of suffering is actually way worse than the suffering itself. This is the last piece of wisdom he needs before the final, ultimate test.
So here we are, the pyramids of Egypt. After all of that, the robbery, the desert, all the lessons, all the miles, he's finally there. He's made it. But I'm telling you, the way this story ends is not what you think it's going to be.
He gets to the pyramids, he finds the exact spot from his dream, and he starts digging. He's exhausted, but he's running on pure hope. He can almost taste it. The treasure is right there. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing, just sand. After everything, all the sacrifice, it feels like the dream was a complete lie. It is a moment of total, crushing failure. And just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. He gets attacked. Some thieves beat him up and steal the last bit of gold he has. So now he's at rock bottom, left with absolutely nothing, at the one place he thought he'd find everything. It feels like the whole journey was a complete waste. But then, as the thieves are leaving, one of them turns around and basically laughs at Santiago, calls him an idiot for following a dream, and then the thief says something that changes everything. He says that he once had a recurring dream too, about a treasure buried in an old ruined church back in Spain. And right then, in that one single moment, it all clicks for Santiago. He finally understands. The treasure, the gold, it was never at the pyramids. It was back home, right where he started, the entire time. So, was the whole trip a waste? No way, not even close. Because the real treasure, it was never about the gold. You see, the journey was the whole point. He had to go all the way to Egypt. He had to go there to learn how to speak to the world, to find love, to get over his fears, and to meet the alchemist. He literally had to travel to the other side of the world just to find out where his treasure was waiting for him at home. The journey was the treasure. And that brings it all the way back around to you. Look, Santiago found his treasure for one reason and one reason only. He had the guts to follow his dream even when everything was telling him to quit. So the real question this book leaves us with isn't about his story. It's about yours. What's your personal legend? And what incredible treasure is just waiting for you to start the journey?